Now recording. So again, welcome to our Green Career Panel as part of October Sustainability Month. In terms of housekeeping items, just wanted to let you know that the first half hour will be pre-facilitated questions. So Armando will actually be asking from a set list. But starting at 12:30, we will be opening it up to the audience to ask questions via the chat, unmute yourselves. And Armando will be facilitating that. So if you have any urgent questions you want to get the jump on, feel free to type them into the chat if you have anything for our panelists. And you will want to stick around for the full event, because in the last 5 minutes of this event, we will actually be doing a random opportunity drawing for one of the attendees to receive a free, smart, reusable notebook, which actually allows you to scan your notes and reuse the notebook for any of your future job interviews, classes, etc. So just a little prize from us to keep you engaged on that. And with that, I want to introduce our main facilitator, who's actually a fellow student. So Armando, if you want to introduce yourselves and the panelists, I'll let you take it from here.
Thank you, Ellie. Yeah, so like Ellie said, my name is Armando Garcia. I'm a zero waste intern here with the Office of Sustainability, and I'll be your main facilitator for today. So let's get started, right? So we'll start with Allison, because she's the first one I see right there. Just introduce yourself to the group of people.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Allison, she, her pronouns. I'm also currently a second year master's student in the environmental science program here at Dominguez Hills. And I am also currently working as an outreach fellow for the nonprofit Grid Alternatives, which installs no-cost solar panels in under-resourced communities.
Oh, thank you, Allison. Next will be Scarlett.
Hi, everybody. My name is Scarlett. I was actually a former intern with the Office of Sustainability, and I am now working at Athens Services, the trash and recycle company, as a recycling coordinator for the greater Los Angeles, mainly for San Pedro. So I'm in charge of all of the accounts, all the commercial accounts in San Pedro, doing outreach and educating people on recycling efforts and important California legislation.
Cool, thank you, Scarlett. And we'll be introducing right now David, aka Skip.
Hey everybody, I'm Skip. Graduated from DH with a BA in geography, working now as the development and programming and development coordinator with the AmeriCorps Vista program.
Cool. Thank you guys for coming out and taking part in this Green Career panel. We look forward to it, and we look forward to hearing your experiences, and hopefully we can get something out of it. So let's get started with the first question. Each panelist will get to answer each question. So we'll start off again with Allison. The first question is, how did you come about your chosen field/path?
I guess it started out kind of just I really enjoyed nature. So from there, I just kind of started to look for, environmental stuff and exactly what you could do with it, how you could get involved with it. And that's how I first came about the internship with the Office of Sustainability at DH. And that's basically how I got started getting to learn this kind of path and to where I am now working with Grid Alternatives.
Cool, thank you. Now we'll go with Scarlett. How did you come about your chosen field/path, Scarlett?
So I was actually an intern with Allison as well. So we interned together for the Office of Sustainability. Just like she said, I'm a nature freak. I love being out in nature. And what's most important to me is that we take care of the resources that we have here on our planet, right? And making sure we're utilizing them correctly and just not throwing them away, which is why when I was an intern at Dominguez Hills, I focused more on waste management with Allison. And we did a lot of different projects, reached out to, students, faculty, and staff. And when I graduated, I was like, okay, now I need a big girl job, right? So I wanted to look for something that was similar to the type of tasks that I had my background in from Dominguez Hills with the Office of Sustainability. And now I'm out educating not students and faculty anymore, but commercial businesses, restaurants, multifamily dwellings, and I'm out here changing people's habits, you know, one account at a time.
Cool, that's great to hear. Skip?
Well, yeah, same generic answer. Growing up as a kid in Compton, I didn't really get out much. It wasn't until I took my first earth science geology class in El Camino College that I actually went camping for the first time. I was just amazed by the sceneries that are outside of our urban community here. And that's what made me switch from English to earth science and geography. And the reason why I actually picked to do the AmeriCorps Vista program was because I enjoyed working under Ellie so much as a sustainability intern when I was on campus. Ultimately, this is also a stepping stone for me because my academic goal is to obtain a PhD, and I want to come back and help influence sustainability here on campus, help finish what I started as a student and hopefully do it as a professor.
Cool, that's great to hear. Off to a very great start, great answers. Now we'll move on to the second question and we'll stay with Skip. What experience/skills are required for the field that you're in? Is there any skills/certifications or programs you recommend students learn or obtain to better help them once they get into the field?
Yeah, so with the AmeriCorps Vista program, you just have to be a good people person because part of the Vista service is volunteers in service to America. That's what Vista stands for. And you have to be able to not only communicate your point across to whatever site that they place you, but also like you have to lead people. So anything that gets you in front of people to talk to them, to be able to connect with them one-on-one, whether it's, anything sustainability related, or, if you're just trying to get a team together to make a presentation, communication is always something that I tell people that I have to develop because without those skills, I wouldn't be here today.
Thank you. Scarlett?
Go ahead and repeat the question.
Sure. It's what experience/skills are required for the field that you're currently in? And is there any skills or programs or certifications you recommend students learn or obtain to better help them once they get into the field?
Definitely the biggest skill to have, especially with dealing with the general public, are people skills. There's, people have different ways of communicating and how they come off. So through this job and also to outreaching when I was an intern is learning how to talk to people if they're pissed off, if they're, happy, standoffish. So kind of like adapting to the mood that they're in as well. And then just finding a way how to talk to them too and communicating. Communication skills are a big thing, as well as time management. This job requires a lot of time management skills if you're not on top of yourself, because I like my job because no one is over me. I'm not being micromanaged. I create my own schedule and I go visit the accounts that I want to visit, right? So definitely time management, and a certification that I would recommend students get if they decide to go into sustainability, specifically zero waste, is the True Zero Waste certification. I'm actually True Zero Waste certified, and I did that through the Office of Sustainability, and that actually got me a raise when I got hired. And I am able to help the company and also commercial businesses find zero waste ways on, to implement into their daily lives to help other people as well, so that we're not throwing away so much stuff. But yeah, writing skills is a big one. Sending emails is a big skill.
You were muted in the last part, Scarlett. Can you repeat that?
Oh yeah, just overall communication skills, people skills, time management skills, writing skills, I would say are pretty important.
Cool, thank you. And congratulations on that raise.
Thanks.
And now Allison. Do you want me to repeat the question, Allison?
No, I'm good.
Okay, thank you. Go right ahead.
Okay, so as far as like certifications, I'm currently working on getting the LEEDS accreditation. So I've heard that's a pretty good skill to have on your resume. So I definitely would recommend doing that. As far as like other skills, definitely want to reiterate people skills, because I'm the kind of person who has a really tough time with that because of my social anxiety. So definitely working on that. And I think the big part is just learning how to have that rapport with community members, not only in campus, but also, out there in the general public, learning how to talk to people. And I think specifically, I mean, if you have a second language that at your disposal that you can kind of like try and relearn again. Like for me, it's Spanish, and I'm working with, a community that is predominantly Spanish speaking. So that's really helpful to kind of build that kind of connection with community members. And I think maybe a last skill would be like problem solving, like especially working in the nonprofit like field, like there's like a lot of red tape that you can run into, and just learning how to like overcome that and be able to solve the problem and like be adaptable is like really sought after in nonprofits, because a lot of it is kind of like I think the saying is like building the bicycle as you're riding it. So definitely having that skill is really helpful.
Cool, thank you. All great advice right there. Now, the third question, I know the three of you are very involved on campus, so we'll just build off on that. So the third question is, how important is it for students to get involved, whether that's research, presentations, conferences, clubs, internships, volunteering? How does this help them in the future? And I guess we'll stay with Allison.
I think it's really important. I mean, like I said before, it's coming into school, it was really hard for me to like get involved with people, but I think one of the easiest ways, that you can do it is by joining a club, that really gets you out, to know professors. They often have like stuff for conferences. So that's a really easy way for you to start to get involved. And, it's really important because even just like with me getting involved in a club and then the sustainability internship, I was able, to get some research with waste audits with Scarlett, and then we got to present at Student Research Day. So like everything just opened up for me. So it's definitely really important.
Great, that's nice to hear. Thanks for that. We'll go with Scarlett now.
I think it's absolutely very important to get involved in school in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a club, an internship, and I highly recommend an internship. And I'll tell you why. When I graduated and I was applying for jobs, every single job was asking for experience. 3 years experience, 5 years experience, as long as you had some sort of experience. And honestly, the reason why I got this job was because of the background that I had. Had I not had this background, I probably would have not been selected. And I have a lot of friends, not that went to DH, but went to other campuses who didn't get involved in school, who didn't, intern or anything. And they're having such a hard time finding a job right now because they don't have experience. So get involved in any way, shape, or form. Join a club, just like Allison said. You never know where getting involved is going to take you. It's going to open up so many opportunities for you, and you're going to beef up your resume, and it'll be fun. So try new things, don't be scared, and yeah, go for it.
Thank you, Scarlett. And now Skip.
Yeah, I think once again, very important to be involved in your school, whether it's internships, clubs, even working at your school, that's a big help, because you have to look at it this way, right? Not all of us, but some of us are paying, right? School is a service, right? We're coming here to better ourselves. Might as well build on your CV or your resume while you're here. Now, I know a lot of us don't have that luxury, but it's very important to just try, because when you try, a lot of doors can be opened up for you, because school is what you make of it, right? Like if you can go, if you have the good enough grades to go to these elite schools, but you don't have time to get involved, all those resources that they spend time to develop, you're not going to get them. You know, some people like to think that here at DH, you know, you're of a certain type of person to come to DH, and let me tell you, you get what you put into it, because all these resources that we have here are for us to succeed, both as students and as individuals. So just take that into account, you know, just what can I do today, or what am I doing today to help myself tomorrow?
Nice, good answer. Good advice there. And you know, what Skip said, you know, we'll build off of that with the next question, which is, what was something that stuck with you that you learned here at DH that has helped you in your professional life, such as job seeking? And what resources or experiences did you find most valuable as an undergrad that you recommend current students take advantage of while they can? And my guess was stick with Skip.
Research, research, research. Okay. I understand that not most people want to jump to the next step, but those of you guys who are an undergraduate right now and are thinking about a master's or a PhD, it's becoming so competitive that now you have to do research in your undergrad. We have programs here on campus like MBRS, RISE, the STARS program, LSAM. All of these organizations are here to help you get to the next level. And if you can start doing undergraduate research, or REUs, which is research for undergraduate experiences over the summer, all of that helps you. And once again, these are all things that are going to teach you skills that might not be applicable 100% to maybe a job, but people are going to see that, hey, you know, you took on a project independently and you made results happen, and employers love seeing that. So
Thank you, Skip. Now we'll go with Scarlett.
Can you repeat the question one more time, Armando?
Sure. What was something that stuck with you that you learned at Dominguez Hills that has helped you in your professional life, such as job seeking? And what resources or experiences did you find most valuable as undergrad that you recommend current students take advantage of while they can?
Definitely networking. I'm a social butterfly, so I knew like half the campus when I was there. But you know, knowing people can get you far. And also, just like Skip had mentioned, doing research as well, talking to your professors. Don't be scared of them. I know they can be a little intimidating, but I swear they're like one of the nicest people that like you'll ever meet, and they're there to help you. They're there to help you gain experience, start some research, get your foot in the door. And I would say one thing that stuck with me that I feel has helped me in my my professional career. Just like Allison had mentioned, I didn't always used to be like this. I was very clammed, social anxiety. I didn't like talking to people. I was very scared to reach out, like when I needed help. And that took a lot, right? So, you know, just having confidence in general in what you're doing, even if you don't know what you're doing, fake it till you make it. Shouldn't be saying that, but honestly, like, you know, reaching out to people and just connecting with your peers as well, professors, admin, and asking for help one of the biggest things that stuck with me. And also never giving up.
Thank you for that very good advice. Allison?
Let's see, for job seeking, I mean, Skip mentioned, you know, research, even just doing like the small like waste audit research I did with Scarlett, like that got me ahead. And, you know, and a lot of, you know, the fellowships that I've had, it gave me like a step up to say like, oh, you partake in a project and, you know, you led people. So that's something that's really important. Even if you're not, you know, gonna go into like academic research, it's still something nice to have on your resume. And I think another skill I learned actually from Ellie is project management, and like project management, like it not only transcended into like my professional, like learning how to project manage in my professional career, but like also, you know, now in school, you know, allowed me to learn, you know, a lot about more time management, and especially being in a master's program. And I think a resource at the university is definitely like the psychological center. Like it really helps a lot, you know, when it's midterm season, like right now, and like you're really stressed out, and going to the psychology services and like learning how, you know, to cope with your stress, like learning healthy coping mechanisms, I think is really helpful to getting ahead in your educational career.
Thank you. Very good advice right there. And we'll stick with Allison for this one. Any good tips you had as a student that you think will benefit others? Any mistakes you think students should avoid?
I guess like when you're looking for classes and electives, like look for classes that I guess that are marketable. You know, because we're going to school, you know, to learn new skills and then, you know, get a job in the future. So like, for example, it could be something like GIS class, you know, it's not, GIS is not only used in like the sciences, but, you know, you also see it being used in businesses, public policy, anthropology, like across all these different fields. So I definitely recommend, you know, looking at the types of classes that you're taking. I guess a mistake is not to like make a habit of like pulling those all-nighters, just because like, I mean, sleep is like really important for you to like function for the rest of the week. And I'm not learning this until now when it's like, you know, it's a master's program and it's also working for a nonprofit, you know, it's important to get your sleep. Like there's always going to be a to-do list for you. So, you know, at the end of the day, like really your work will never be satisfied. So it's just take the rest.
Oh, thank you for that. Scarlett?
Can you please repeat the question?
Sure. Any good tips you had as a student that you think will benefit others? Any mistakes you think a student should avoid?
I guess just what I reiterated before. Since as a student, just like Allison mentioned, pick classes that stand out to you. And chances are, like, if you like those kinds of classes, don't be scared and do it, right? I guess it would be also a mistake that I made. I didn't believe in myself when I was, you know, a student. I didn't think I could take calculus or handle physics. I didn't think I was smart enough. And, you know, surrounding myself with my friends who encouraged me to take those types of classes got me my BS in earth science. And I didn't think I could do that, you know? So that was a big mistake that I did, was not believing in myself. A little believing in yourself can go a long way and have you accomplish, you know, what you want and not have any regrets. I would also don't procrastinate. Don't do things last minute because it does pile up. Read your books, read your chapters like your professors tell you to. They tell you to do it for a reason. One of the things that, you know, because I was working 2 jobs and I was a student full time, I had to really optimize my time and manage my time, right? So finding time to do everything is great, but most importantly, finding time for yourself. Mental health is very important, especially while working and being a student. And one of the biggest advices that I have is, you know, utilizing the psychological services on campus that helped me a lot as well, and helped me build my confidence and my studies too. And I would say another mistake that I feel like I made, or not, I don't really regret it, but doing more research and just reaching out to my professors more. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Thank you for that. And now Skip.
The number one mistake you can make is believe that you're here by yourself. We're a family here at Dominguez Hills. I don't care if you're a first year Dominguez Hills. I don't care if you took 10 years of break between your second and third year. You know, you could be on your way out. We're a family here at Dominguez Hills. So remember that, you know, use the student psychological services. You know, a couple weeks, we're getting ready to launch our food recovery here on campus again that, you know, Scarlett helped launch here on campus. You know, if you need something, there's resources on campus. You just gotta ask, you know, and I understand, you know, there's some anxious people out there. You know, I'm an anxious person too, you know, but at the end of the day, like I said, we got to remember why we're truly here. We're here to better ourselves, and hopefully the skills that we get, we can better our community. And yeah, just always remember, you're never here by yourself.
Very good advice from all three. Really appreciate that. I'll stick with Skip with this one. The question directed towards Skip. Working full time, being in a grad program, and doing research and having a personal life, obviously. How do you find a balance between all these things, and how important is it to have a balance? Any tips for these students?
Yeah, definitely. You know, time management is like a really big thing. Any free time that you have, make sure you're taking time to assess within yourself how you're doing, because being sleep deprived or being stressed about a test, or, you know, even being sad because of, you know, relationship with your significant other, you know, you think that might not affect you, but it's gonna affect other facets of your life. So just making sure you have all your ducks in order. And if something is wrong, you know, like, what is it that's gonna help you fix that? You know, is it talking to your friend? Do I need to call my mom? Do I need a hug from my friend? You know, just always making sure that you're taking your mental, physical health into consideration.
Thank you for that, Skip. That's really important for all of us to do. And now we'll go with Allison. What is the important connection between environmental sustainability and the role of government?
Well, I mean, we have a government, you know, that's, you know, supposed to be by the people, for the people. So I think something that's really important for us, you know, just as citizens, is, you know, to make sure that we're going out to vote, you know, towards policies that benefit, you know, our future well-being and sustainability and, you know, overall environmentalism, you know, because, you know, this then allows us to continue to receive funding towards different kinds of programs. For example, the nonprofit I'm working with right now, you know, the way that they're able to put these no-cost solar panels is because they receive funding from the government. So, you know, making sure that we're working towards this, you know, better future, because, you know, scientists, you know, can keep telling us, you know, that, you know, we obviously have a climate crisis right now, you know, but at the end of the day, it's up to us, the general population, you know, for us to advocate for a better and, you know, more equitable, sustainable change. So I think that's, you know, the important connection that we can make between those two.
Thank you for that. Go out and vote, guys, like she said. And now with Scarlett, as a recent graduate, how has the transition been from being a student to not working in the field?
It's fun because I like my job. But it's definitely, like, at first it's kind of weird, you know, you get up, you're so used to taking your tests, doing your homework, seeing your friends every day. And now I have an 8 to 5, and, you know, I don't get to see my friends as much as I would like to. I would wake up and be like, oh shoot, like, what do I have to study for? Oh, I don't have anything to study. So stuff like that. So it did take a little bit of getting used to. but the transition has been pretty good. I mean, like I said, the only difference from my previous position at Dominguez Hills as an intern and also working for Vista was outreach. So educating students, faculty, and staff on important recycling practices, best practices on that, sorting your waste from compost, all that stuff. So it's not much of a difference now, except again, I'm dealing with the general public. I it is a challenge because there's some people out there who do not believe in recycling. And what I do is I use, my background and like what I learned in my classes and my internship, like, hey, food isn't supposed to go in the landfill because creates methane gas. Or did you know that if you're throwing that away, like you could be saving like money? So learning, like, I guess, like, how to communicate with the people too. But yeah, the translation has, it's not that much of a difference, but just getting into the groove of things. And yeah, like, I don't know, I love coming to work every day. It's fun. I do what I love to do, and I get to talk to people, get to educate them on something that I find very important. And at the end of the day, I've always told myself I want to find a job that's going to help our planet and the environment in some way, shape, or form, and I'm doing that now. So transition wasn't that hard.
Thank you for that. Yeah, that's great to hear. So now we're done with the questions that we have for the panelists. So now we're going to open it up to Q&A. If you guys want to raise your hands, and I'll call on you, so you could tell whatever question you want to the panelists. That's great. If not, you can also drop it in the chat. We can ask them as well. We're going to start with the question that was asked earlier. If this was a question, I think we were talking about the certificates, skills, and programs. Jasmine Garcia asked, are any of these certificates costly?
They can be. The True Zero Waste certification, I believe, Ali, correct me if I'm wrong, it's good for 5 years or 3 years. And it is a 3-month course online. You do it at your own pace as long as you finish it within 3 months. And the regular price for that, I believe, was $400. The school pitched in, the school funded my certificate, so get funding for it.
Yeah,
I think Allison mentioned.
Sorry, Allison, just for that True Zero Waste certification. So Scarlett, yeah, it was $400, but we covered it. And just as a tip to everyone else, if you're in an internship or you have a part-time job or you're in a full-time job, usually your employer will cover the cost of your certification because it makes you a more valuable employee. So never fail to hit up that option if you do have employment, and you can use that to better yourself as an employee. So just a tip. So yeah, so Allison, continue on.
Okay, so I know for the LEEDS accreditation, there's like a student discount. So it comes out to like $150, and you can either take it in like a 5-hour webinar, or you can do a self-paced. Like Scarlett, my work is also paying for my accreditation. So definitely when you're looking for jobs, and you're at an interview, definitely ask, what, if they fund, for accreditations, and like for you to learn more, because it's definitely helpful.
If you guys are looking for free options, do not forget that because you guys are Dominguez Hills students, you have access to the LinkedIn Learning. So if you guys go to your My CSUDH, I believe it's on one of those corners. It's like a little LinkedIn blue box. If you click that, it'll take you to the LinkedIn Learning. And once again, those are free training courses because we're enrolled in Dominguez Hills. Also, if you're interested in like getting to know like geospatial things, I know Esri has free courses that you can take. They're like webinars. They're like 5 to 6 week courses is what they call them, but they're just like certifications that they teach you how to do certain things, and yeah, those are eligible for, you can put those on your resume.
Cool, thank you for that. We have also another question that was asked earlier by Jenna Moy. Hopefully I said that right. And I think it was directed to Allison when you were talking about GIS. And she asked, what does it mean to be marketable? I think you mentioned that, if I remember correctly.
So I guess what it means to be marketable is just to choose classes that you can show that you have like a skill in. So it can, like, for another class that I'm taking right now is like grant writing. So showing, that you have, that experience by taking the class, to do grant writing, or for GIS that you have that experience, to do some kind of map making, stuff like that. Does that answer your question?
I have questions.
Go ahead and ask it.
Yeah, like so this field is this position on campus? I think it's on campus, right? Sustainability. Are you offering this job on campus? Hello?
Yeah. Yeah, we actually do have positions that become available on campus. We also have volunteer internships. Right now we actually have all our positions filled. Ellie can speak about that, but as soon as a position opens up, it's nice to have some volunteering experience with the Office of Sustainability. So when something does become available, you can be first in line should you want that opportunity.
Yeah, if I'm an alumni, can I get the opportunity? Apply. If I'm an alumni.
I believe you have to be a current student, right, Ellie?
Yeah, so if you want a volunteer internship, technically it's through our sustainability club. So clubs are often open to just students.
Earth Science Club. You mean the Earth Science Club?
Sorry,
the Earth Science Club, like that?
The Sustainability Club. So there is an Earth Science Club as well, but the Sustainability Club is where we host our Office of Sustainability volunteer internships specifically. And if you're an alumni, the Office of Alumni, or the Career Center actually has a pretty robust alumni service in terms of helping alumni find jobs. So I definitely reach out to them because they want to make sure that alumni have job opportunities as well. So hopefully that's a useful resource for you.
What kind of jobs do you have in the GIS field? You're talking about GIS in this field.
I guess maybe Skip, since you're more into GIS, any examples of common jobs that require GIS?
Yeah, so definitely if you work for Caltrans, the Department of Transportation of California, they need planners to pretty much set up like where they're going to put certain freeways or what kind of plants can be next to freeways. As I'm sure some of you have noticed, there's a foul stench in the air, and that's due to decaying matter that's in the Dominguez Channel. With GIS, they can figure out how spread that decaying organic matter is and how to clean it up. Also, if you work for the fire department has real-time maps and boundaries of fires and what they're doing to fight the fires. Also, the sheriff's department or police departments, when a crime occurs, they would like to see if there's a one-time occurrence or something that's happened multiple times, and what can they do to help stop that if they need to increase police presence in a certain area. GIS is one of those fields that's expanding and it's being used in all kinds of jobs. It's just a matter of looking. If you're a farmer, you want to see why a certain type of crop didn't yield the way it was. You analyze your watering patterns and you see, hey, maybe I could water a little bit more on this section of my field. GIS can be used for, the limit is your imagination.
Cool. And just FYI, Ellie did post up a link in the chat for the volunteer internship. So if you guys are interested, please check that out. And Jasmine also put another question in the chat. She asked, how can you find a job in the field? And I guess either Allison or Scarlett could answer this.
So just getting experience in the field that you want to get into. Find an internship on campus. If not, you honestly, if your internship is not paid, do it, because later on the line they might end up paying you, and chances are, if somebody who they don't know applies for a job but you're already in and you have all this experience, guess who the company is going to choose? So I would recommend doing that. Internships, volunteer opportunities, I would say, are the best way to go about that.
Do you have any internships in JS on campus right now?
If that was a question for the Office of Sustainability. Yes, because we are a campus, our internships are on campus. However, there are a wide variety of internships out in the rest of the world. Essentially, Career Center, check out Handshake. They have tons of great employers who post regularly.
LifeRay, one company with LifeRay and MongoDB, are those companies, you mean?
Yeah, I mean,
LifeRay.
I
I saw LifeRay, MongoDB. I saw like those IT companies.
Yeah, there's IT companies as well, but usually employers will post on Handshake if they're available internship opportunities for our students.
Oh, what are the salary? What are the salary for the entry level position? Entry level.
In general, for most entry-level positions, you can usually find the posted salary as part of the job description. So they'll usually post what the expected range is for that. And actually on the topic of salaries, if you do get a job offer, it never hurts to negotiate because most employers factor that in. So when they give you an offer, they're usually expecting you to negotiate up. So just a tip. And actually, I did see another question in the chat. So Armando, I'll stop there.
Thank you. Yeah, Jenna Moy asked in the chat, how do you manage, I guess you meant to mention, yeah, there you go. How do you manage your time successfully?
Can I answer?
Go right ahead. It's open to anyone, yeah.
So, I'm in charge of all of San Pedro. I have over 500 accounts that I'm in charge of. And the way I manage my time is I use Outlook calendar. And then going back to the previous question too, I actually use GIS to kind of zone out what accounts I'm gonna visit on a general day to conduct my waste assessment. Because per the Recycla program with Athens Services and the City of Los Angeles, every commercial account that's under Athens must have a waste assessment biannually. And what that means is we go on site to check equipment and all that stuff, but definitely going ahead of yourself. So planning like a week or a day in advance, not doing things the day of. And yeah, so just planning ahead, basically.
Thank you. Allison, you want to add to that?
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, definitely utilizing like whatever calendar you use the most. For me right now, it's Google Calendar. Just because I know a lot of things right now are virtual, so for meetings and stuff. And another thing is I do use, I try to use a planner and try and plan like my week ahead, like on Monday, any important to do tasks, and just making sure I like have a hard stop like at 4, for my work day. Just so, we still have that balance of, work life. And then it also allows you to work, like if you have that hard stop, then you're able to plan your day out more efficiently. So, you for sure stop at 4 p.m. So I guess that's my tip.
Good tips right there. Skip, do you want to add anything to that question?
Yeah, find what works for you. Me personally, I have a G-Shock that beeps every hour on the hour. So it tells me how much time is passing throughout the day. I know back when I was an intern with Scarlett and Allison, they would used to get annoyed by that beep, but hey, that beep kept me in line. it did tell me when things were running a little bit overboard or to speed up something. So if using a planner works for you, awesome, do that. If using a Outlook or Google Calendar works for you, awesome. If you need a reminder every hour on the hour like me, awesome. Just find what works for you and just try to stick to it.
Cool. Again, if you have any questions, please leave them in the chat. I'll ask a question for you guys, and it's open to any one of the three of you. What advice do you have for students who don't know what they want to do after graduation?
It's never too late, and don't worry and don't stress, because chances are you're not alone. No one knows what they want to do. You're not supposed to know what you want to do, right? It'll happen. Just be patient and never give up. Biggest advice I'll give everybody. Just never give up. Because once you give up, what do you do from there, right? Just keep doing what you're doing, and yeah.
Skip, Allison, you want to add to that?
Okay. I guess, yeah, just Scarlett said, never give up. Definitely like try different fellowships. For example, I got to learn that I enjoyed, community work by doing my fellowship with the California Climate Action Corps, which is also kind of like an AmeriCorps service. So I definitely recommend like looking into AmeriCorps and like service stuff like that, because it allows you to, kind of explore more vastly kind of what you want to do without making like a hard commitment.
I'd say pay attention to your classes, because you can be, as my mentor says, a button pusher and just do the assignments to just get the grade. But try looking at the curriculum and see what parts about it interest you, because once again, I'm pressing this issue home. We're here to learn skills and we're here to better ourselves. So find out what you like, that's what the GEs are for. That's what internships are for. That's what networking is for. You can meet somebody and, be like, hey, what do you do? And they tell you, oh, I work with the Office of Sustainability. We do presentations for students. We make soap. We have a campus urban farm. And you're like, wow, I'm kind of into that. So again, just look inwards. What do you like? Why do you like it? Can I do this long term?
Cool, thank you for that. And sticking with Skip, we're gonna have one more question from Cameron. He asked, are the sustainability interns good for environmental science majors?
Like, is it good to work with us, for us? Can I get a little bit of, can you expand on that, Cameron?
Can I add on? Oh, can I add on to for environmental science? I believe what they focus on too is obviously like an environment, and I believe environmental policy. I would say it is a great internship because, especially if this is a field that you want to get into, like Skip knows AB 1826 because he used to work for Recycle LA. You learn about a lot of California legislations, and I'm actually applying that right now in the real world. I'm educating all commercial businesses on AB 1826 and SB 1383. So learning all of that, I also learned with the internship, and I would say it is a good. I think it's good universally across the board, no matter what major you're in. It's a good internship to be in.
Oh, thank you for that.
May I have business cards? May I have your business cards?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if Skip, Allison, and Scarlett want to put their contact info in the chat, so you can reach out for any questions. That'll be great. This is it on my end. I'm passing over to Ellie. Thank you guys for having me. It was a pleasure. And
right.
yeah.
Thanks, Armando. Great facilitation. And as Armando mentioned, we are running short on time, so we have cut off the questions for now, but again, the panelists will put their email addresses in the chat for you if you want to follow up with them offline. And before I get into the announcement of our opportunity drawing winner, who I will message just now, I did want to do a quick shout out for the Office of Alumni Relations. So Gilbert, I believe you wanted to say hello to our panelists on behalf of the office.
Yes, thank you for that, Ellie. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure meeting you all, especially our alums that came back to speak over here in this panel. This was great. I learned a lot. I actually think I should go and get a degree in earth science now at this point, just because of the exciting things that you all are talking about. But I did want to just mention that the alumni office is always pleased to hear about the accomplishments of our alumni. We like to spotlight those alumni whenever we can. So I would encourage all of you here to become members of our Alumni Association, which is free. You get access to all sorts of benefits, including a 10% discount at the bookstore, a discount on your auto insurance, and the ability to retain access to your student Torah Mail account. We are also launching this year a mentoring program for students provided by alumni. It's called Toro Connect. And I'll place that website on the chat there. And it's basically an online platform that we are utilizing to connect our students with our alumni. So the same information that you all shared here, you can definitely share on our online platform with any students that may be interested in getting this information. It's a great service that we're offering to our students to be able to get in contact with our alumni at any time, any place, anywhere. So I would encourage you all to become members of our Alumni Association and also set up a profile to be a mentor on our Toro Connect platform or to be a mentee, either way. But I was very excited to hear about all of you speaking here today and all the great work that you're doing. And I sure hope to hear more about you all. So thank you very much for including me here and have a great day.
All right, thank you, Gilbert. And again, thank you to our alumni panelists who were able to support us and join us and say hello to everyone. As promised, we do have a random opportunity drawing winner. So based on the attendees, congratulations to Nadia Poot, who is the winner of our reusable notebook. To thank our panelists, as is tradition for some of you who've been around, we will be planting a tree in your honor at the newly relocated Earth Day Grove. So we will be planting a mandarin tree next week as part of our virtual town hall and tree planting party. So continue to join us for October Sustainability Month events. So I guess with that, I know that a lot of people have class or in their lunch break. So we're now going to close out the room. Panelists, if you'd like to stay behind, and Gilbert, you're welcome to as well. Otherwise, everyone else, hope you found this valuable and have a nice day. I'm also going to include our contact information in the chat if you ever need to follow up with us or need to see those panelists' email addresses again. And then Skip, I can't tell if you're waving or raising your hand, but but we will be sticking around. Otherwise, thank you all for attending today, and I'll turn off the recording.